Yo, what's up, y'all? Wait, I think I should remove my other message. Might confuse people. The message about an hour back was from an hour ago. Give me a second. Can I delete my message? There you go. Okay. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. What's up, Ansel? Randy, hello. Alex and Yuki, hello, hello. All right, give me a quick second. I need to post about the stream and then prep one little graphic for y'all, and then good to go. All right, I'm posting to Instagram right now. Uh, and then, yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And I'm excited to share with y'all because the past 2 weeks I've been kind of crazy, low key. We haven't had a stream in a little bit, but it's been good. All right. And we are going to be showing a new design today as well. All right, let me give y'all something to look at. Do you want to see the origami model while you wait a little bit, or do you want to see the crease pattern? Let me know in chat. What's up? Hello, origamist. The model. Okay. So the model, it's not too done yet. Oh, there's both. Okay, you can see both on screen. Only thing you can't see is me right now. I'll fix that in a bit. All right, let me do this. Okay. All right, I think this is good. Let's download this. Crazy crease pattern. Yeah, and this is just the packing. Um, it's like I don't know if I'd be able to draw it with Mountain Valley accurately because I'm using a kind of different technique to getting the armor for the legs, and kind of the arms a little bit. But it's something I'm just experimenting with, and this specific design was useful for that. Okay, where am I? I'm right here. This. Okay. 2, 28, 25. And then. Okay, we're gonna go back. Actually, we can stay here. Let's move over just to the crease pattern for now. And then let's see. Y'all can see me. Hello, hello. What's up, y'all? My hair is a little bit of a mess right now, but I think that's fine. Where is my schedule thing? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about what we're doing today. Thank you everybody for joining. 228, 25. Okay. Can y'all see this? All right. So today we have a little bit of a packed stream. I don't know if or like how far we'll actually make it through. But today is the release of Monster Hunter Wilds, and that is a game one of my favorite games, and it's inspired a lot of my origami designs, actually. So you think of me, I like to say I make humanoid designs, and I like to make dragons, right? So that's exactly those two things in that game. And I think the art directors or whoever designs the monsters and the armors do a fantastic job. They're super, super cool. So we're doing a little Monster Hunter themed stream today. So first, but before we do that, we're just gonna chat a little bit. There's been some exciting collabs I've been a part of the past 2 weeks. I just want to showcase that and answer any questions about that. And then afterwards, we're working on my new design, which I just teased earlier, in which the crease pattern is right behind that stream schedule. I got some interesting tech, not really new, but new for me that I'm trying. So we're gonna see if it works out, because the thing I'm making has a lot of details. So hopefully that is good. And that armor is from Monster Hunter, which if we finish enough, I might just open the game and show you what the game's about. And if anyone watching is a Monster Hunter fan as well and wants to play along on stream, just let me know and we'll do that. If we're able to. The multiplayer right now is a little weird, but other than that, we're gonna be folding probably for most of this stream. And then this stream will probably be, max 2 hours long. Just because I still want to be playing Monster Hunter. So I'll finish up stream and I'll be grinding. And then also working on that new design. But let's get this schedule out of the way. What's up, Bodo? How's it going? Thank you, Volan, for the resub. That is so awesome, man. Thank you so much for the support. You'd like to see the crease pattern. Okay, so here is the crease pattern, and I have two stacked next to each other. That might be a little confusing. So I realized while I was test folding last night that I did the legs incorrectly to the structure that I was trying to do, which was here. It's 1 unit too short. So this was 2 units. I used one of these to swivel, but then I needed another to do this transition here. Yeah, on my original test fold, which was on a 16 grid, I had it length 3, right? So that is technically length 3, but I needed it longer. So that's length 2, and so I needed length 3. So now on this crease pattern for the legs, I've extended these to 3. So 1 swivels, 1 transitions, and then it lies flat. Or I should say it lies sideways on the axis. And then this whole mess thing, which you can see that is the repeated motif of this design. It's just a bunch of these everywhere. This one is long enough. This one isn't, but this is on the shoulder and it doesn't really need the extra unit to swivel. It just has the transition. And I can mush it in shaping, right? Because it's on the arms. So it's totally fine. So I fixed the legs. The one I'm going to be folding right now is not this version. So what we just have to, or what I might do is not work on this section. I'll work on everything else. Well, even not, or even still, I think the next one, right? The only thing that really changed is these got a little shorter, which is totally fine when you see my test fold. The rest is the same. So it shouldn't matter too much. I've got an interesting thing up here, right? Here's our shield hand. We're doing another like sword and shield type weapon configuration, just because the demo graphic that I saw from Monster Hunters had a really cool one that matched the armor. So I think I will go ahead and do that. And then for the sword, I'm actually reusing my weird 1.5 shifted thing that I used originally for the space, was it that space game, the Star Trooper legs, which made it 3 units wide, because each side is 1.5. I'm reusing that structure for a sword because I think it kind of looks like the sword that we're going to be working on. So let me show you what that actually looks like. And I think if I do this, and let's go ahead and capture Chrome and show this. Okay, so y'all can see this now. This is the Monster Hunter website. So if you want to check this out yourself, you can. This is the sword and shield. So you see this sword. This is a sword that's actually been in multiple games and has been one of my favorite looking. I don't use this in the game very often, but you know, I thought it was really neat. We have this armor. You can tell it already kind of looks like my Dragonplate armor, and that's because I got inspiration from this for that. But this time around, I'm going to actually try to make it, you know, pretty close to what this looks like. I've already done a test fold of the helmet. The shield's a little bit different in configuration, and actually there's like, well, there's still a lot of pleats, but not quite to the degree that I had in my other design. And we're trying a different method, but if you want some quick inspiration, right, just go to Monster Hunter Wild's website. Not sponsored, unfortunately. I tried, but I got denied. But like, there's a ton of different weapon variants that are really neat, like great sword. This would be kind of hard to do with Origami because of how massive the sword is. But you remember, I actually did one with a great sword on the back, and that worked out pretty well. But in the hands, that'd be kind of crazy. The other one I wanted to potentially try is the lance, which again, there's just a big problem with oversized weapons. So I think this could be possible. It wouldn't be designed in the traditional way that I would do humans. So it would have taken me like way too long to try to think of how to do this. And I probably wouldn't be able to do these cool textures, but right, you can see there's a lot of things to just get inspired from. And many of you have seen Kimiro's recent Gundam. So you do know that a lot of details can be packed into a design. It's very much possible. But this is our inspiration for today, right? So let's put that back down and head on over to here. So this is what I have so far. This is a very small test fold, right? It's smaller than my hand. So I kind of just wanted to check out all the proportions and the structures to see if they'd actually work. And I already caught a mistake, which is great. But I also have this, which is in the thumbnail, which is a Rathalos. And this is not my design. This is designed by a guy named Joker. That was his Twitter handle. And basically, this is the dragon in the game, or they call it a flying wyvern in the game, that is used to craft the armor we're going to make. So they're related. Basically, you hunt a bunch of this monster, you get the materials for the sword and the armor, and then, yeah, so red, right? Pretty easy. But you can also definitely tell this was one of my inspirations for the original Dragonplate armor. Just this section in particular, which it's just a couple pleats layered together. And then I took that, and then instead of having these the same, I did a level shifter. So I level shifted down the pleats and kept these out to the side as, you know, full units. But that's the base, you know, inspiration right there. Let's see what people are saying. What's up? Like to see Creasefire, crazy Creasefire. Okay. Timely stream I can join. Yes. So I took the day off of work as a mini vacation just to work on this and play the game. So I'm able to stream a lot earlier, which is great. Bodo says hi. Origami says, I've been trying to design a Shinigami. The basic structure looks similar to this. It looks similar? Really? I feel like you can make something a little bit simpler, probably. Although I don't know what Shinigami you're referring to. Are you just like a general Grim Reaper, or let me know. Hey boys, just finished the Black Forest Cuckoo Clock. Oh, that's a cool one, man. Nice. I hope you enjoy that. That's a cool looking design. Signature Robert Lang. What's up, Robert? That's a different Robert. What's up, Robert? How's it going, man? Eric, hello. Sky, grid is 32. Oh, so this grid is actually a 48. So I think it could be a 32 if I didn't have the sword and shield. And I tried to make it a lot smaller, but I wasn't happy with how the sword and shield looked. So I just boosted it a bit more. The other way to make it 32 would be to have a simpler head and not the shoulder guards. But I think the shoulder guards are necessary in this case to make the armor look cool. So I was like, let's not skip that. But that gave me some more room to do this new technique for the legs, which I'll explain in a little bit. Again, like new for me, not new in Origami. Organized Assassin DPA. When do you drop crease pattern for that? If you're asking about the assassin, I already dropped the crease pattern for it. With it's like before the tutorial. If you're asking me when I'm dropping this crease pattern that I'm showing here, well, right now, right? You can try it, I guess, but I wouldn't because it's not fully correct yet. So, whenever I show stuff on stream early before I design it or before I fold it myself, it's that disclaimer. Like no one knows what it's gonna look yet because it doesn't exist yet. So like I wouldn't try folding this yet because who knows? It could still be very much wrong. Now I will say I did mostly test fold it, so it's almost right, but there's still some unknowns, like in the chest area. I have some pleats here, mostly just to fill space and to add details, but I don't need this much. I'm actually doing something similar to another model I'm about to show. But I didn't want to just consume it in a big flap or do weird level shifters or anything. Bogdan, today I almost finished my first design. Dude, nice job, Bogdan. Keep it up, man. You're really close to being an origami creator. Sky will be similar to your one head to a dragon. I'm not making a dragon here. This is armor. But yeah. Okay, so with that, let me switch on over to here. And let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna blow my nose off camera real quick. All right. And then I have more things to show. Okay, so that's what we're doing this stream, right? Now, before, like in between the last stream and this stream, I'd been teasing the model for my collab with Shaquan Parson. And if you haven't checked that out, let me drop a link. It is one of the biggest collabs I've had this year. Or just might have been the biggest collab, I guess. Technically, the Valentine's one was a little bigger, but this one was like bigger in terms of the origami and production I did. So let me send that here. Go check that out. That one's pretty cool. Caleb, what's up, Caleb? It is very early for me. Thank you. Okay, so all right, check that out. That was my collab with Shaquan. And if you don't know who Shaquan is, you might have seen his videos on TikTok or YouTube just randomly pop up because it's gone pretty viral. He's also been in a Machine Gun Kelly music video. He's been on a stream with Duke Dennis from the Amp House, if you know who Kai Cenat is, in his squad. And I think Kai is the biggest streamer in the world right now. So Shaquan is making his way up there in the world, basically. And it's really cool because we both do tricking. It's kind of where he started. And here we made Shaquan out of origami. And maybe I should use this angle because I don't want to tilt this too much. All right, so the model is this. And if you watch the video, it'll make sense why I made two versions of him. It was pretty ambitious to do both, honestly, because it took a lot of time. But I think to match the vibe and energy of the videos he makes, I had to, right? And I think it turned out really well. So this is like his superhero landing. And then this is like his default stance. type thing before he goes into a combo. And this design, it's pretty cool. There is a very simple structure for the torso to get this. A lot of times we use level shifters to do stuff like this, but I did not want to do level shifters, and I did not think I needed it at all. So I'm going to show you the crease pattern and explain it, because I think it's, I haven't seen it done like this too much. I've seen it done with the level shifters all the time. But this is literally folding the layer in half and then pleating it not on the grid. But like that's it. It's there's not even a third like ab. Technically, it's the rise from the other flap to make the abdomen that creates it pretty easily. And then it's like, I don't know, it works really well. This is just like 1 unit flap. That's it, and everything is just thinned down. You can see the back. And then the knee structure is really just what I've been practicing for a while. Yo, what's up, Hershey? Dude, thank you for the resub as well. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. It's great having you in the members server, dude. Thank you. I don't know if you can see. There's toes. The toes were hard for me to do. I'm just not good at shaping toes. I don't do that very often, so if there's anything that's like a little bit bad, it's probably that, but at least I have it. And another thing I really like is maybe hard to see here, but I was able to include an ear, which a lot of my models don't have ears either, but it worked with the structure I did. And then everything is natural color changed, including the sword, which is probably one of the most interesting structures in this design, is the color change sword. And then how clean the transition is on the underside. I don't know if you can see that, but like it's not, a lot of times in my models, they're very mushed over here, but in this area, it's not mushed. And there's kind of enough space for the thumb. Marie, thank you for the sub. Yo, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. And then the structure for this guy is the exact same, basically, except the sword is in the other hand. So let me show you the crease pattern for that now. Okay, so here I have the full crease patterns, and I think this is on my website now. And these are, I think this is a 32 grid. Yeah, so this is a 32 grid, right? Okay, obviously the legs, I didn't really show much of there. I just said it's one long flap, but it's just widened, right? With the normal widening method using the transition here. So we have flat space here. And I actually used the seam. There's a seam in the middle of the legs, but hopefully people didn't notice that too much. But it allows that color change combo of like the shorts being a different color. Here's the torso I talked about. Okay, I guess the only level shifter is this squash fold. But if I remember correctly, I don't think I even used this. I don't think I needed this. I think the alternative to do this that I did in the actual model was just folding this flap in half, because this bottom one doesn't really become the next ab, but it makes it a little bit cleaner if you do the squash fold. But in here, there's no level shifter. All it is basically you take this line, right, and you make it one mountain fold through the whole thing, and then you just valley fold it this way. Like this. It just like crosses over, and then it makes it look like there's abs, but then on this top flap here, it doesn't go this high. Right, it just swivels out, and it's like we shifted down, but we really didn't. So it's kind of a nice, very, very simple structure with none of these, none of this garbage, right? That I used to do a ton. But that's very nice. Okay, here is the star structure though. Look at this. So what's going on here? Okay, so we have basically the structure for the head. This is for the back, and it helps stretch the shoulders properly from the structure I did. Like, okay, actually, let me explain this. This looks really goofy, and it is pretty goofy, but you can really see it on this one, where this is that flap coming through, and it allows the neck line to be adjusted this way, so I could shape the arm upwards. If it was just side normally, it's not as flexible in that joint because they're just connected together. But that spacing allowed for that. It and closed back ish, not really. I wish it was longer, but couldn't do much about that. But this arm, right? We have this river meander into the hand, and this hand is like the hand. This is the paper forger hand, basically. I've been using a lot. And then alongside this, we basically have a extra 1 unit river here, and this allows both the color change and the shift down, just the reverse folds and a bunch of sync folds to get this really clean, hilt. And since the hilt is shifted down one, that 1 unit provides a very clean, swivel to match inside the hand, which is really, really nice. And then the fingers, since they're not stacked vertically, are very thin. So when shaping the sword, it's super easy to shape these fingers because they're all the same thickness, right? They all sit on top of each other. And I think this is one of my best like sword hands I've done, and it color changes. So I was kind of proud of this whole thing here. Now this structure here, this makes the arm a little bit thicker, but as you can see, that is an area where it's totally fine to have more thickness because we're making it round, right? We're giving volume to the arm. So it doesn't matter too much if a lot of the paper layers are there. We just don't want them in like the wrist and the fingers, right? So hopefully y'all find that interesting. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Neelish case similar to mine. Probably Neelish is the OG. He's definitely my inspiration from before I could design origami. What an awesome dude. Are you gonna make a tutorial? No, definitely not. The shaping on this is a monster. Also, it's like Shaquan, so it's a person. So it's kind of weird for me to make a tutorial on like a real life person, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. I think the video was really cool. It's a nice perfect loop as well. Well, not a perfect loop, but like it loops pretty seamlessly. All right, so let's go back to what we're folding today, though. All right, so we're gonna be here, and I need to actually grab something really quick. So I'm gonna let you look at the crease patterns, and I will be right back. So let's put that here. I'm just gonna turn myself off for now. All right, so I will be, or let me let you look at the actual model, so you can maybe make guesses as to what's going on. I'll give a small hint, like it's a little cursed back here, but it wouldn't be a Boyce model if there wasn't a little bit of cursedness, right? Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Got some water. All right, Matthew wants to fold the ancient dragon or Western dragon. Nice. Both of those are good options. Okay, so let's begin working on this guy. Um, so let me show you what I have and my explanation on the new technique I'm using. So normally legs are shaped with this involved, right? And then maybe we would level shift it or do some transition to like flatten it out this way, right? To make it wider. And then we shape stuff like knees into this and all sorts of stuff. But after watching Kimiro's Gundam, I was thinking, well, what if instead of it's this way, we just leave it here and we fill this area with panels of like whatever details we want. In this case, it's armor, right? And they just stack this way. And that way, when we need to do something like a knee, we already have that like natural separation. And this area underneath is very easy to bend and control because it's thicker layers and it's just like a pleat. We can very easily pleat along that. And that way we can have a whole range of flexibility, both directions, without losing too much, paper space, while still having a lot of these like crazy details and armor looking things. Whereas if I did it this way, right, to do a knee joint, you gotta like, and grab this guy. You got to do all these like 3D pleats and little texture stuff to get the knee over the shin, stuff like that. And then if I wanted to add armor on top of it, a lot of times if it's just one layer, this might affect that, structure. So I don't know if this is better or worse. It's a little bit less efficient, I think, but it's going to be a different way of shaping, which is kind of fun. So I want to play around with this idea because I think there can be some good uses of it. Now with Kimiro's Gundam, right? That's on a gigantic scale of a really huge grid with more complex stuff. So I'm doing it on like a kind of smaller, still kind of a big grid, 48. But I think the same principle works with even just using, 1 or 2 unit space extras instead of using much larger ones like Kimiro has. So that brings us to here, which I already messed up this leg a little bit because this was too short. But the nice thing of using thinner paper is you can just push it there anyways, right? So we have all this stuff going. This can turn into a bunch of pleats and stuff of the legs. And then because our legs are already caved in like this, right? The flaps on the outside can be outside and the ones next to it can be on for the back, so we can have it closed. And then normally I do like the skeletal spine structure, but we can just phase that out with the pleat and have enough for the neck, a ton of things over here for the torso armor. We kind of have a similar structure up here, which can become the shoulders, right? Like this. And instead of it consuming space actually on the arm structure, it just sits below. Here's that sword structure I was talking about. I've already started shaping fingers a little bit, but it widens out, right? This will thin it even more, but then like the pattern of the structure, it like has a center line and then it's kind of a similar shape to that other sword. It's not exact, so it's a little goofy, but there's that. Then on the other side, we have the shield, which is a combination of flaps. So we have the hand over here. We've got this extra flap hanging down, which will elongate the shield this way. And that way, all of this up here can help create the shape and some pleats for the shield, but kind of a interesting looking structure there too. So there's a lot of fun things with this. And then for the head, it's actually pretty simple. It's just a bunch of 1-unit flaps followed by a 3-unit flap, which I test folded into this with Kami, which, you know, this probably doesn't look like anything here, but it's, at least I was just trying to see if I had enough spikes to match. Oh, that's Twitch chat. To match this one, right? Where you can you see my cursor? Right? There's the longer spike in the back. There's like a bunch of smaller ones towards the front. And then we have like a visor and then just like a cowl right over here. So we'll see how that goes. Can I recommend a box pleat bug that isn't too hard but not too easy? I think the Damian Maliki Sun Beetle that I have in the crease pattern class is a good one if you haven't folded that yet. So if you haven't folded that yet, go ahead and try. But let's get shaping. So I just want to try. Let's try doing one of these legs. It's not gonna be like accurate to the model for now, but let's just see how it turns out. And then maybe we'll get into the shield and the arm a little bit, because I think it'll be kind of fun. Goodbye, I'm still sleeping. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Bogdan. Have a good rest, man. Goodbye. All right, so I have methyl cellulose here. Y'all know what this is already. We're shaping with this. I probably should be shaping just with glue, so it's faster, but I like methyl cellulose. I don't even need it yet. So with this leg, it's turned this way. Let's just lock in. This is supposed to be like the foot. So let's just start locking this stuff in. Where I think it should be. And then we can start positioning the arm. You know, actually, because let me do this with glue just for stream. Because I think we're going to need this speed. I'll have both available. But that way, since this is like a test fold, we can get a visualization of how this structure will work, basically. Because it helps when all the layers here are nice and stiff. All right, I'll use a mix of everything. And while that dries, I can start pleating this other one. And these two combinations, I think, are just mainly going to make like the shin guard and then the knee. At least that's the plan. And it's going to sit over like this. And actually, if the paper was thicker, even having these pleats as part of the leg might be okay, depending on what you're making. But let me just pleat this down a little bit. Or should I pleat this up? We can pleat this down and just fold in some simple details here. Maybe I should zoom in so y'all can see. This is a pretty small test fold. And then let's do a little rabbit ear up top here. Like that. So that is basically the top of our shin guard. And now it can just live right here, and we'll be able to shape it however we want, or whichever direction we want later, because it's sitting on top of this. So let me add some, actually let me add some MC to the back of this so it kind of stays put. All right, and then let's try to do the same thing for this bottom one. This one is a more simple structure over here. It just kind of covers the shin a little bit more, and this is going to cascade on top of it. So this, I think we can just grab our PVA. And then I think we can actually just refold this into a point. And get an extra little pleat by folding it down in half. We might need it a little bit higher, but let's see. Like there. That way it sits underneath the other one. Right? And so we can just stack armor like that. And then for the upper thigh, we'll eventually use one of these, which can widen out into something, and we can either cover it with that, or it can just be part of the battle coat. Now, the foot, I didn't really design much yet on it either, but I think I can make a shoe by folding it this way and then just widening it a little bit. This paper might be a little too thin for that, so I might actually design a better shoe. But we'll see how everything works. So far, these are looking like panels of armor, which is really nice. So let's let that set a little bit and then move on to the shield. So for the shield, we have our fingers right here. And for now, I think I will just, I need to finish some of these squash folds. These are some really simple squash folds for the fingers. Let me not do them too quickly. There we go. And then for the other one, like that. All right, and then before we do the shield, let me also get these fingers up. So if you haven't seen how I've done these fingers in the past, it's a little tricky, but I've got quite a few tutorials on this now. I think it's you know, on the other hand, I have the stacked finger technique, but I think this one's a little bit better, and it's also shared in that sword and shield tutorial I released. Very similar actually. So let's get this done. And then wrap it to the other side. Which means this swivels up. It is definitely harder to do this on a small paper like this, but we'll make do. All right. Looks like this, and I think I messed up this finger, so let me fix it really quick. I think I just locked it together. Oh, I didn't finish a sync fold. All right, we got it. That's for our fingers. Now for our shield. I also have a test fold of that. Let me see what details I added. Where is it? This is the sword. All right, here's the shield. Okay, so I think I did this. Valley fold to corners. What grid is this? This one is a 48 grid. And that's because this shield has this spike at the top of it. Yeah, so 48 grid can generally get, most details for a regular proportion, human, even if you're doing like a knight with a sword and shield. You don't have to do anything too crazy. Right, back in the day, my sword and shield guy was like 32 grid already with no details. And then now you can see my tutorial on my channel. It's a 24 grid sword and shield. This is a 12 grid, by the way, with no shield, but it has a sword with fingers. Right, so you really don't need that much grid to do stuff with. You can make it very efficient. I think these arms are like 2 units, basically, and everything's just shrunk down. The legs are 3. That was like another prototype. Now, I will say that 12 grid one is like way harder to fold than the 20 grid, the 24 grid sword and shield. It's hard for me to beat that 24 grid sword and shield. It just turned out so good. Okay, and then just gonna keep adding these spikes here. I'm gonna fold this behind actually. Or actually, it might look cool with the extra seam here. I'll give it some contour. Okay, we'll keep that. And then this flap, I think I split into something like this. Which there is a better structure I could actually pre-crease out, but am I going to? No, not at the moment. split the stack. And I think this one stays up. Valley folds this way. Into a spike. Okay, and then the last part of our shield is to actually just use this section at the bottom to keep it long. It can tuck right under that. And I think for now, I will just use glue. But just to hold in place while we're streaming. 48 grids are hard. 32 is easy. The crease pattern is right here. It's this. This is the crease pattern. It's on screen actually. Obviously, it's not complete yet because I'm still working on it. So it's just the packing. And Alexis, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, 48 grid's not too hard. It just, you need a little bit larger of a paper for it. So I'm folding with the 50 centimeter paper. And I think it's a little bit too small for this model. I mean, obviously it works in terms of folding, but in shaping, it's not going to be as great. All right, so let's let that sit for now just to get a visualization. What is my inspiration for this model? It is Monster Hunter. So it looks like you missed the beginning of this stream, Sky, but that's all good. So today's the release of Monster Hunter Wilds. And so earlier I was showing the Monster Hunter website, which is this one right here, right? So you can see sword and shield with this kind of very spiky armor. And this is called Rathalos armor. It's made from the Rathalos, which is a flying wyvern in this game. It's basically a dragon, which I've folded one, which is in the thumbnail. Right, so it's based on something that looks like this. Oh, I am zoomed in way too much. Right, so now the armor is based on that, which has a bunch of pleats and everything, which probably makes sense. What am I using? This is Unryu. I think, no, this is double tissue. Sorry, I'm using double tissue paper. If you want to know how to make that, I've got tutorials on my channel for that. All right, and then that will basically sit on the arm like that. Covering the hand. I think that's should be pretty good. Have it under our shoulders. Now, I was worried the shield wouldn't be big enough, but I think it's big enough for now. All right, that's not too bad at all. This is a test fold. Yes, this is a test fold. Okay, and then for the armor down here, I don't really know what I'm doing with the chest yet. So I guess I should test fold it a little bit, but I think even just leaving it as pleats is kind of okay. But I might leave that for something else. I kind of just want to see how the model looks in its entirety. So let's go ahead and just like methylcellulose some of this. I do need to fold out this section first before I do that. So let me show you what this is made of. So essentially this is like, you know, just a flap with two 1-unit flaps up here. But what we can do from that is extend the layers outwards So it looks like the structure for a river meander, but we're not doing that. We're actually just taking some layers, stretching them out, or unwrapping them. And then you can see I've already pre-creased some diamonds here. And collapse that. And then this one is a, basically a 2-unit flap, but using these two 1 units, I'm translating it out. So I'm not collapsing it like a full 2-unit flap yet. I'm using that space to keep it open like this. And then closing it down like that. So now I have a wider flap that has a little bit of length so I can move it around. And then this structure will close. Like that. So it's almost like a mini shield, but I'm using this as different details for the armor. But because we have more layers, we can actually keep expanding these layers and stack 2-unit flaps on top of each other until we can't. So I can unwrap right over here, add another 2-unit flap. And I don't think I really pre-creased this second one. That's okay. It's pretty easy to just fold it like that. And we still have some more layers. I think we fit one more in. 1 or 2. I think just 1, actually. Add the pre-creases in right now because I didn't do them before. Like that. How difficult is this compared to other models you've done? I might give it a try. Well, you can't try this yet because I haven't finished it. So, I don't know what the finished one's going to look like yet. So I don't necessarily know how hard it'll be. Now, folding wise, it's not very difficult. Like, as long as you understand what's going on here without necessarily knowing the whole mountain valley stuff. I haven't drawn it out yet, so I don't really know what the mountain valleys will look like together. But if that doesn't seem very hard to do, then it shouldn't be bad at all. There's no weird stuff to it. Like that's the weirdest part of it. The other thing would be to understand that this isn't like a regular box plate model where the legs are based on an axis, which would be like, they're not this direction. It's this direction on the thin side, and these armors will cover them from the top and become the volume of the leg itself, like this. So in shaping, it might be a lot harder to understand, but in terms of the structure for folding, it's pretty easy. So like the folding is just this, right? This is very, very easy. 45-degree, right? You don't even need the lines really to understand. This is just a pattern. Maybe you do need the line. If you need the lines, then probably don't fold this. But if you can understand how to fold from a packing crease pattern, not too bad. I think the weirdest part is up here. This is my weird. Okay, this is just kidding. This part's a little weird. That's my tech. This isn't that weird. This is kind of normal. Maybe it's just this section that's kind of strange, but it's more that it's just not common to put something on 1.5, right? But like, it looks like this. So see how it's like now 3 units wide, but the folding structure itself, it's like to if you get this, it's super easy. Which to get this, you just need that 1.5, and then you do a squash fold on the corner and just let it terminate wherever. And then the rest of it is like relatively not too bad. Like this is just a swivel fold. This one's a little weird. It's like a tucked swivel fold that comes back on itself a little bit towards the corner, leaves this thing sticking up. But like, I don't think this is very hard, you know? It's just like, it's not common. So it's a little bit weird, but I'm going to try to design a Spinosaurus out of paper. If you don't know what it is, search it up. Okay, I won't search it now because I don't know what that is. It sounds like it's a dinosaur, maybe? Spinosaurus. Or it's some fantasy creature because it seems like it's a different language. Very cool, very cool. Wish you the best in that. Okay, so I folded this out. Let's get the torso structured up. So I'll use methyl cellulose for this because it's gonna be easier to apply, just so we can see what it looks like. It should just be 2 units long, this torso, but because there's so many things going on and it's stretched out, it appears longer. I want to see if this torso is a proper length. I think in theory it should be, but I more so want to compare if my arms and legs are long enough compared to the 2-unit torso. I chose not to do a 3-unit torso because I thought it would be too long. Because the way I'm doing the legs, it does lose a little bit of its initial length. So I don't want the legs to look too short. That seems to be a very common model in origami, is that people's legs are too short and their torsos are too long. And then after that, if their torso, like, it's a very interesting problem because a lot of times head proportions will be good compared to their torso proportion, but then their torso proportion is way too big for all of the other ones, which, you know, by consequence makes the head too big too. So people ask me for help a lot, and then I tell them the torso is too big. They fix the torso, but then they suddenly realize the head is now too big too. But yeah, that's just part of designing. So we are going to check here to make sure mine doesn't have that issue. The nice thing with doing a helmet instead of a face, though, is you can get away with a little bit more. The uncanny valley isn't so deep, or we're not as deep in the uncanny valley. So if our helmet is a little bit on the bigger side, it's okay because it's a helmet, right? Okay, so okay, I think I needed to put this lower, this tall part lower, put it too high. But it looks pretty cool, totally off camera. I'm a little concerned about the foot is the one thing. Because the foot is just not wide enough. I guess maybe I can't stack it this way if I just widen it manually. Perhaps it'll look a little better. And on the full model, since I'm not going to be gluing this whole thing, I think I can use these internal layers to actually give the leg some volume. Kind of like this. Oh, that might be a good idea, actually. Use the layers itself to give volume. All right, I think when I shape this for the full one, I'm gonna have to go pretty slow for each part to make sure, they hold position that I want them to be in. I feel like this will work. I just designed my first origami piece, first try made, and I don't know how to pronounce that, but awesome, dude. Because of my vids. Hey, I'm glad you found them useful, man. Good job. Good job designing. That sounds really cool. How's my stream going? It's going pretty well. We're working through a new design. I'm test folding it right now. Um, and this test fold kind of will identify which areas need to be fixed in terms of the proportions. I've already made an adjustment to this design where this section is a little bit longer and these are a little bit shorter, which I think are perfect because these ideally only have to sit a little bit above the leg. Whereas these ones should have some more space for the transition. But yeah, it's going all right, dude. Right now it looks like kind of a jumbled mess, but right over here we have a shield. It's looking pretty cool. I think I can add a little bit more details to this guy. Let's make it a little bit spikier up here and right here. Shimmer, hello. Thanks for tuning in. How's it going? I hope everyone's having a good Friday. All right, so this shield can look pretty spiky like this. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good too. I'm doing some origamis. That's always fun, right? And that. So that's like a spiky shield. If you did a shield bash on someone, you would not want to be on the receiving end of that, right? I also have these like back flaps here, which I'm not sure what I'm going to use for. It could help close the back, or it can lift up enough for the shoulder spikes. Not super certain what I'm going to use that for, but it exists. Okay, let's take these clips off for a second. So overall, the hips go up to here. The legs are like this, torso's here, and that's up there. So I think these legs are long enough, actually. They just look a little goofy right now because of the way I'm shaping them. And then I guess instead of fully shaping, we can just like valley fold these down to imagine that it's the waistcoat. Probably do that for both of these, actually. What you doing? I am working on a new design, making a new armor. It's going to be the Rathalos armor from Monster Hunters. And I'm trying a new structure for the shaping. See if it works. I think it'll work, but what I'm finding, what I'm discovering is that shaping it is going to take a little bit of a slower process because it's not as straightforward to where I'm placing each of the flaps, which is okay because I like shaping, so shaping slow is just totally fine. But we're checking right now like the length to the rest of the body, like this. Okay, I think I'm gonna apply some methylcellulose to the neck as well, so we can just start to see, what everything's gonna look like together before we stop for today. There's, obviously I can't finish this in one go, but yeah. Do you have a stream evening Friday? No, I think this will be the only stream for today. This will replace the normal time. Because I will be playing Monster Hunters with friends this evening. Okay, let me see if I can get a clip back here to hold this in place for a little while. I think the shoulder blade is in the way. I think what I'll do is I'll use my other tweezers. If I can find them. Where are they? Right here. Okay, we got them. These are really cool. See this? We'll focus. They're reverse clamp tweezers. These are made for Gunpla, and they work perfectly for origami. To hold stuff in place. Yeah, so we have coverage for all the details we could want, right? This waistcoat is a little bit in the way, but we even have one in the back to cover. And I think at least one of these on the bottom will be able to cover the rest of the thigh for details, because they can just widen out like this. Like that, and then cover underneath this guy here. Like that. That looks like a leg, right? That actually is like sitting on top of itself. Or sitting on top of what's underneath, which is kind of neat. It's the whole point of this setup. We got one for the other side. Ready to go. We got the back armor. We got the shoulders. Which the shoulders are a little bit strange because they have to twist from underneath. And then we have the sword here. It's pretty nice. We got the hands. There you go. And then this will be the helmet. So I think this test fold is going to be pretty solid. What monster is this? This is actually going to be not a monster, but an armor. So it's going to be this. Let me show it. So we're making this sword and shield Rathalos armor here. So like you can see from this shield, right? We have this big spike followed by a smaller one with a talon on the bottom, right? That's happening here. We have a big spike, a smaller spike, and then this can be a talon towards the bottom. One of these, I think I just have to like pinch shape it to the shield. Right. Then we have this really broad sword that's glowing on the edges and is like, dark on the inside. So on the other hand, we have this wider sword where technically it's color change. I mean, obviously it's not going to show here, but we've got like, some contour of the shape. And then the handle is over here like that, and these are the fingers which will wrap around. So we've got that sword. Then we have like all this armor with this spiky knee pad and this waistcoat and shoulder pads here with more spikes on them, which here's our shoulders, which will turn into spikes. Then we've got our legs with armor that can be pleat and spiked up here. This can be a spike. This can be a spike. These corners can be spikes. The shin can turn into spikes. The foot's a little thin, but we'll resolve that. And then we got this other piece of armor here, which is also covering the leg, which we can do stuff with. And then we've got this waistcoat area. So we got this piece, which can become wider. And then we've got this in the back also for the waistcoat, which can also have spikes. So yeah, we're testing out a lot of these structures with this. Um, this is going to be the helmet. Let's see, it didn't really dry fully yet, but you can kind of start to see the picture of this design a little bit. It's a little bit janky still because there's a lot of stuff hanging off of it. But this is kind of how origami just looks while you're working on it, right? Oh, we'd be so good. Thank you, Grim. Origami by Grim. Thanks, man. I think it's assassin. Yeah, just like a sword and shield guy. Not really an assassin. We're a monster hunter today. Longsword. Can I make a longsword? Boom. Longsword. Nah, it's not as long as the actual longsword is in Monster Hunter. Um, the handle is, but here's a longsword. This design's a little janky, but I do want to try doing some of the other weapons from the game. It's just that like because they are so oversized, it's like really okay. Not the dual blades, that'd be easy, but like the hammer is really big. Hunting horn's huge. The lance is crazy big. I haven't done a spear guy in a while. I feel like this lance, I have an idea of how to do something like this, which it wouldn't be too complex. It'd just be really weird. But it makes it kind of hard. I was also thinking of doing gun lance. Gun lance looks really sick. Switch axe would be crazy. Same with charge blade. Insect glaive. This one actually isn't too bad because it's just a thinner spear. The guns. Where's the long sword at? It's just like it's a whole nother like problem that I have to solve, which is kind of fun, but like it'd be a very interesting problem just to decipher. But like this sort of thing could be very much possible. But yeah, this long sword, it's like almost twice as long as the guy itself. So it's just kind of crazy. What colors will I use? So I think when I'm done with this one, my plan is I'm gonna make it actually out of white paper, and then I'm going to do like a special coating on top that will mimic what the red, gray, browns are on the actual armor, and it's you've seen me do stuff in the past like with this guy. Right, so see how it's like a metallic finish. Now this one's like really shiny. I won't do it shiny on this one. I'll make it look more weathered and red and dark and brown and stuff like that. But I'll have like that similar kind of finish with highlights, and I think it'll look really good. Can you tell me how you get creative inventing this? Oof. Explaining how to be creative is kind of hard, right? You just kind of gotta open your mind and be creative. But I think the best training for being creative is to be inspired by a lot of things, which means you have to observe a lot of things. So observing very easily happens when you're watching something you like, but then you want to focus in on what do you exactly like about that. And as you do that, you'll start to understand that you're observing different details. And from there, you can draw creativity. So, like, for example, from this, I really like the game Monster Hunters. And what do I like about the game? I like how detailed and expressive the, you know, armors are and weapons, right? There's so much detail and almost like character behind the armors that relate to the monsters. And then from that, now I'm extrapolating it to origami. I understand how to make these points. So because I understand how to make them, now I want to actually make them. And now, I translate the paper and I'm actually making it. So that's part of my creative process, I guess. But the biggest thing is to be able to observe very deeply. The better you like. I even in if you take a drawing class at like a school or anything, they'll have you draw from life or do a still life, and that's just like an academic method of training your brain to, you know, observe and break forms that you perceive as objects into smaller and more basic, like cylinders and squares and lines that you can then use as components to create something. And even if you're not creating something, you can practice replicating it. And the process of replicating it builds your brain's libraries of ideas of things you've done. And then that gives you a lot of ammo to, try to make something on your own. You just smash them all together and um, create something. Like you can even see, right? I did all these test folds. So here's a test fold for the leg, right? And then here's the test fold for the shield. Here's the test fold for the head, which we didn't do yet today. Here's the test fold for the sword. And now that I know how to do all these things, I'd like smash them together and it becomes this. Right? So that's like the process of it. But great question, great question. I'd use red. Yeah, red. I mean, the red naturally looks good here. You replied. I always reply, or I try to, if it's relevant. Can you use something like what you did in the Dragon Slayer, where he's holding a big dragon head? Um, I could do that. I haven't done something like that in a long time. Now that Dragon Slayer you're talking about is actually a very old Dragon Slayer. I think I don't know if I even had 1,000 subscribers on YouTube yet. If when I created that model, um, which is crazy that you remember that. That'd be really cool. I could try doing something like that again. The other thing I wanted to try actually is using my one head dragon or the two head dragon head and have those as the shoulders of a knight, right? So imagine like imagine the head on the shoulder, right? So either like the arm comes out the mouth, which could happen. It might be really hard to do that, or just like that the mouth's a little bit more closed, but it's sitting on top of the shoulder, like two of them sticking out. Like, when how cool would that be, right? And then the other thing I could do, which is inspired by a Vietnamese designer, is he had a design where there is a lion head in the chest, but instead of a lion head, I could also just have the dragon head with teeth. I'm not exactly sure how that would look or like how bulky it would be, but like, maybe it's just the top jaw with the teeth like sticking out this way for the chest. That's an idea I've had for a while. Something like that, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Uh, Origami Grim. So it sounds like you are a origami or you're a Monster Hunter fan. So I'm so glad that you're at the stream because this is the Monster Hunter stream. Try making an Arkfeld. I saw someone made a Arkfeld already. I think a Japanese designer, and then a Korean one recently did a Raydao, I think, and it was really really good. Um, the structure was kind of crazy. Like, it's such a huge grid. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I retweeted it or not. Yeah, I did. Okay, KMMS box pleating, and this guy's Japanese, not Korean. Made this Raydao, and it's super good. It's got all the pleats imaginable. And the horn is really nice. It uses that like almost a phoenix tail that Satoshi has, but like crimped closer, so it actually looks like the horns. So in terms of like texture, this is so on point. The head is nicely shaped with the small horns underneath. Like this is super good. I think he shared the crease pattern. Yeah, here's the crease pattern. So yeah, you can see KMS Boxing also doesn't do the mountain valleys so much. Like he has some of them, but this is mostly just packing. So the structure, it's pretty generic and just like a lot. Like there's just so much going on for all these pleats. So it kind of makes sense on how it works, right? Like tail, pleats, body, pleats, big section for big wings and talons and feet and spikes, and then more pleats, and then the horn with pleats and the small horns and mouth. Very impressive. That's actually a really cool way to do the horns with the pleats. It like stacks on top of itself. It's kind of smart. Some more pleats. Right? This is super good. I don't think I can make a better one. I'm not as good at making dragons as I am making the armors. Right? Like my dragon I think is cool, but it's not as cool as that one. Right? I feel like my dragon can almost be a human in terms of how it's designed. It's like kind of has that effect, but it'd be really neat to design one. I visited TwitchCon and a Capcom booth back in November, I think, or September last year, and I talked to like the Capcom team because I wanted to make a uh, sponsored video for them where I'd either make an armor or a dragon for them. Unfortunately, I applied and I did not get in. You know, I think their priority was larger streamers and creators who have like 100,000 plus subs or followers to just like play the game, which is totally valid. You know, I have to get bigger, I guess. 25,000 is not enough yet, so I'll keep working hard, and eventually maybe we'll get some cool partnerships like that. I'll reapply to the Capcom creators program one day, and maybe we'll get in. But that'd be like a dream come true sponsorship right there, for sure. Kian, sorry boys, I joined late. What are we doing? I am designing from the game Monster Hunters. So this is the new design. It's an armor, um, or a knight. It's another sword and shield, basically. Yeah, Rathos armor. I have 5 subscribers. You have so many. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You make a cooler one. Thank you, man. Sorry, Kian, I answered that late. Yeah, Rathalos set. Saparma asks, what about a model with a dragon helmet? I already do have a dragon helmet. Well, I guess it's kind of a dragon helmet, right? Like this is arguably a dragon helmet, no? With the horns. Well, this one actually takes inspiration from both Monster Hunter and Skyrim. So the helmet is more Skyrim, like the dragon plate armor. And then the shield here, it's pretty close to this one, but with a little bit more creative liberty. Right. I think okay, let me see if I can play this video. You can see what the shield looks like a little bit better. Oh, here you go. Right, like that shield with the spikes on the side looks pretty close to um like that, right? It's very similar. It's very similar. Mine's a little bit more like uniform, whereas this. Oh, not this one. This one's definitely got like the scales going on, right? Cosmic Rose Dragon, hello, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Looks like a Chinese one. That is actually true. It does look kind of like an Oriental Chinese helmet. Making a Satoshi Phoenix. Nice, nice. Origami's just better. I love Origami. It's good stuff. All right, let me clean up some of these models. Put the samurai back. I still need to fix the display stand. Thank you. Yeah. Folder. Hello, hello. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we've got like 20 minutes left of the stream. I think I'm gonna finish a lot of this off stream, and then you'll see later on. I'm gonna try to make a video with the finished version of this design when I can. I'm gonna try to finish it soon, just because the game just came out. But I'll try to make a finished video of that, and then I'll release the more complete crease pattern. Right, like I don't expect many people to be able to fold this one yet, but I'll fill in most of it. It's still gonna be kind of hard, but we'll see. I do have actually a sponsored video I have to finish very soon, so I have to work on that tomorrow. So we're a little busy for the next 2 videos, but I'll try to get this out pretty soon so y'all can enjoy. If anything, this Monster Hunter one will be like a YouTube short, but it should still be very cool, and then hopefully a really cool design afterwards for y'all to try. But since there's only 20 minutes left of the stream, I think what we're gonna do is actually show y'all the new Monster Hunters. So I'm going to boot up Monster Hunter Wilds, and let's go fight something. And yeah, I think that'll be a nice way to end off the stream. You played it as well, Grim? All right, well, feel free to like add me on my Hunter ID. And potentially, if I stream Monster Hunters again and you're awake at the same time, we can stream together or something like that. We're not stream together. We can play Monster Hunters together. Okay, let me load this up. All right, let me see if I can get this to work. Not working? You guys see the Monster Hunters? Okay, there's me. All right, this worked a lot faster, or a lot better than let's just do online single player. I've been soloing a lot of Monster Hunter games for the past multiple, and then just playing with friends. So we're just going to do a solo fight today. Oh yeah, you can hop on my stream basically. So okay, take a screenshot of this Origami by Grim and whoever else wants to potentially play Monster Hunters with me. I can't promise anything because I'll probably be playing with my immediate friends first, right? And there's only up to 4. But where is Hunter ID? Okay, Hunter ID is right up there. You got to do all caps. So go take a screenshot of this, or this stream is going to be saved. So feel free to add me. Right? As you can see, I've already played 9 hours. Oops. I might have played a little bit too much. That might have been why this stream was a little bit delayed. Hunter rank 5 right now, and my character is John Wick. I have to write it. Yeah, just take a screenshot so you can remember for later. But let's go fight something. I won't progress the missions. Let's just choose a monster to fight. But like, even this armor is really cool, right? I wanted to try to design this armor, but I was like, this is gonna be way too hard to do with origami. At least with the time I have. All the tiny little things. Like, it's definitely something that could be possible, but man, that would take like a long time. Okay, what should we fight? Let's do something that's not too hard, because I'm a... I don't want to get wrecked. We could do raid. Okay, let's do the raid out. Why not? Oh, I guess people saw it. Is there a more interesting one to fight? Spider. All right. Do you guys want to see a dragon or a spider? I'll let chat decide. Let's see if there's another interesting one that. Thanks so much, boys. Can I join? Yes, Kian, add me as well. And you can't join right now because I'm just gonna solo this monster, but next time, definitely. Dragon. Okay, dragon. I'm gonna eat a meal. We're gonna watch me. I'm also going to play with headphones so I can try to land some of these counters. I played a lot. I'm pretty decent at this game, so live, I'm gonna try not to throw. Okay. So let's see. Isn't it funny though? My character is John Wick. Thanks so much. Oh, dude, no problem, man. Monster Hunter fans, dude, let's go. Okay, let me. Yeah, I think it will save in the invitation list. So yeah, just add me and I'll add you later. Okay, let's go fight this raid out. And hopefully I don't die live. All right, guys. All right, so I'm going to try to greatsword it for most of it. I do also have a really cool bow. So, wait, let me like this bow is actually built from the monster we're about to fight, so it's not very good against it. So we'll use the sword, but all right, let me make sure I'm prepped with everything. Don't need any of those. We'll use flash pods to be a little cheeky, potentially, but... Alright, let's get to this fight, dude. This guy's a little far. I don't think I built the, like, camps to get me closer. We're just gonna enjoy a little ride on our dinosaur thing. And, dude, this game is so sick. Like, do you see just the weather, the lightning? I almost got struck right there. But I've loved how this game has looked. I actually played a lot of the previous one, which is Monster Hunter Rise, which is, for a lot of people, a downgrade in graphics from Monster Hunter World. So, like, coming back to crazy graphics, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is really nice. Sacred. It's called a Sacred. I know, but it's basically a dinosaur, right? I guess since there's Monster Hunter people watching here, I can use Monster Hunter terms. I tried to use like a something people would understand. But you're totally right. This is secret. Hey, see ya, Cosmic Bros. Thank you for joining the stream. All right, here he is. Is he under this? No, he's not. Hello. Oh, I missed the roll dodge. I think that hits. Okay. Let's get charge into a true charge. I got hit by a second. I tried to counter the second attack. See if I can hit this wing. Nope. There it is. Nope. Still no? Wow. It's too tall. It's too tall. Wait a second. I can't hit the weakness. Okay. I'm gonna have to knock him down. Tackle. True charge. Oh, I got hit. So we can hit a counter. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Oh, I hit it. I got it. So there's Greatsword has counters now, which is super fun. I hyper armored through the war somehow. Okay. All right, let's take a little heal because he can one-shot me with that attack. I played Worlds and Rise and Wilds. Oh, sick, dude. Yeah, so you've been playing for a lot. They're all good. All 3 games are amazing. Oh, I got hit. No, I didn't. Oh, let's go. Okay, I think I can hit this now. There you go. I think I don't have time for a full charge, but I can hit this small charge, and then I can hit another focus strike into another charge. I can't do a full one though because he's raged. Okay, that's pretty good. So you do that again. Can I counter it? Oh, I did, but okay, it didn't like reset fully. The Monster Hunter gamers here, what weapons do you guys main? What's your favorites? I've played pretty much every weapon except Hunting Horn. So I do plan on learning Hunting Horn in Wilds. Oh, I got it by that. But as you can see, I've done a lot of Greatsword. Longsword and dual swords, yeah, those are so sick. I want to try longsword as well, just because of all the new mechanics, and the counters are so much fun with the longsword. Okay, can I hit this? Missed. It's too tall, dude. It's too tall. Oh, I got it. Okay. Let's try to cut off the tail. Buried a nuke. Oh, that's so sick, dude. Here's the tail. It's gonna leave soon. Oh, I missed. Oh, he still hit me? Okay. Okay, I think since it's out of rage mode, let's get a mount attack. See if we can finish this thing off here. Okay, this mount. I want to break the horn. Let's move over to the horn. Longsword's super fun. Yeah, longsword is super fun. Wild has better mechanics. Yeah, no, that's fair. It's like Rise is like the generation of the game where they experiment a whole bunch with different mechanics and go like lesser on the graphics to see what they want to add to the next big title. And this is like the next big title. It's super cool. Oh, I could have countered that. I'm gonna have to block it. Let's move to another area. Can we stop it? There we go. We're just gonna get strong charges off. I don't think we have time to get a true charge, but maybe if I... There we go. Now we can get a true charge off, I think. We're gonna risk it. Oh, nope. Oh, it's missed. Okay. I thought we were cooked there, man. He jumped back. I was like, oh. Okay, he should be leaving now. Unless I trigger next phase. Let's see. Yeah, bet. He doesn't get to leave. Okay. Right wing broken. This is a true charge into the focus slash, I think. I think I can hit this. Yep. Okay, there we go. Okay, and he hit me with that. He countered me. I wanted that second full charge. Where's can I hit that? These tail ones are so tall. Okay, there we go. Right now the leg's injured, so I can do a half. Ah, okay. We couldn't one cycle this guy, but okay, I'm not doing too bad, guys, right? You Grim and Kian, not doing too bad. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Decent gun, decent great sword gameplay. We've hit a few full charges. We hit a counter. Haven't died yet. Okay, let's sharpen while we're at it. You're doing decent. Okay, good. Nothing crazy, but not doing bad. I'm not throwing, which is really good. Press right bumper, more damage from mount. Oh, the strong attack. Yeah, I just wanted to get off the sword attack, the draw charge, so I can hit more charges. I should try that. I'm playing on keyboard, by the way. I'm not using a controller. I think I got this. Got it. Okay, now we should be able to get a full true charge here. I can't hit his head. I'm gonna hit the tail. There we go. To another one of these. To another one of these. To another one of these. Oh, there we go. Oh, so we almost like one cycled it, basically. It didn't have very much health outside. I just started playing a while ago, so I won't be that good. Is that fine? Oh yeah, that's totally fine, dude. No worries at all. I'm actually trying to build the set with wide range so I can heal teammates when I play with them. Because a lot of the friends I am playing with like are new as well, like brand new. So they will cart occasionally. So like, don't worry, I won't flame you for for messing up or not DPSing fast. So all good, dude, all good. All right, let's see here. I think yeah. This has been amazing. Thank you guys for tuning into the stream. This has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I love Monster Hunters. I love Origami. So I think this is a good combo. It sounds like we got some shared interest between the chat. Yeah, Grim and Kian, make sure to add me. I'll probably be playing later tonight, and then I'll try to add you guys too. If I might not be able to play immediately because I'll be playing with my friends, but yeah, I'll communicate something if I stream Monster Hunters again, which I definitely really want to. And then we'll see if we can get like a viewers play session after I like fold something. But I think that is going to end us off for today. I really hope this Rathalos armor turns out pretty decent. I like this structure, right? It started off pretty jank, but it's turning out pretty decent. I think I just need to refine the foot a bit more and then actually fix the structure like the other crease pattern I had, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. This has been a lot of fun. Hit me in the comments if you have any questions I didn't answer during the stream. But yeah, let's go. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Okay, Realms, I caught your question right at the end. You can make all of my designs with double tissue. All of my designs are possible with double tissue. Okay, that's the last thing I'm answering. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.